Welcome to Microsoft Excel 2010, Assignment 5 with Megan Reese. In this assignment, you will be doing only a few new concepts, but these concepts are a bit deeper than the ones we've studied in the past. So this assignment is a bit harder than ones you've already done. In this assignment, we'll be learning the following things: cell formatting, calculating formulas, advanced sort, filter, and queries. You will have to know some of the review concepts that we've already studied in lessons 1 through 4, including merge and center, change font size and font style, gradient shading, center text, middle align, borders, and orientation. You also should not be doing this assignment unless you have done work orders 1 and 2, which are to be completed after you do lesson 4. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm not going to go over the review concepts that I just listed. You should already know those things, and there's no reason to go over them. If you can't remember them, you can always go back to the previous lessons and watch them again. We're going to go ahead and start right away with cell formatting. In this assignment, which is similar to the one that you will be doing, I have names of customers, social security number, which I've just copied the same one all the way down, same with a phone number, an account number that I made up, a date, purchase amount, and the salesman. So I want to go through and format these cells. So I'm going to start with social security number. Now, social security numbers are always formatted the same way: 3 digits, dash 2 digits, dash 4 digits. Because social security numbers are used so often, Excel has a built-in customization for it. So I'm going to highlight column B, right-click, and go to Format Cells. And then I'm going to go to Number. And then I'm going to go to Special, where I click on Social Security number and click OK. And it will automatically do that. Now, notice I highlighted the whole column. The reason for that, instead of just this, if I had highlighted just this, then only this range of cells would have been changed. And if I enter a new number in here, it wouldn't change as well. But now, because of the way I did this, it will automatically reformat anything I add after the fact to that formatting. Same thing with phone number. I'm going to highlight column C, the whole column, right-click, Format Cells. I'm going to go to Special for this one as well and choose Phone Number. For the account number, this one is one that could be different for every company. So we're going to make one up. We're going to do one that maybe is specific to this particular company. So I'm going to highlight the entire row, right-click, Format Cells, and this time I'm going to go to Custom so I can create my own. Now, this is a 5-digit number. So I'm going to change general, delete that out of there, and type in number, dash, number. So I'm covering all 5 digits, but I want to have a dash in between. I click OK, and it will go ahead and add that. Date is very similar again. Format Cells, date, and you have a whole lot of options in here. We're just going to do the 03 one with the 0 in front, so they're all the same size. I don't like how they're all different sizes. If you put the 0 in, they're all the same, so that makes me happy. All right, purchase amount, this is dollars, so I'm going to click on the F, and we don't have to go to right click. We can just click on the dollar sign. That one's used so much that there's a shortcut for it. One thing to note as well, if this ever happens to you where you get dollar signs, that's because the column is not wide enough. So if that happens to you, you just need to put your cursor in between the 2 rows or the 2 columns and either widen it this way or just double click, and that will get rid of those dollar signs. Okay, in order to show you the next concept, I went ahead and added a little bit, and this is by no means a real way of figuring commission, but it will get you the point across. Let's say all our salesmen get this percentage commission on the sale. We want to know what they're going to get a month. The point I'm trying to get across is that sometimes you have to do a formula where you have 2 math problems in one. So I want to know what 5% of this number is divided out over 12 months. So I'm going to do 2 math problems. If I did it in one problem, it would be equals my amount times this number. Make sure you always do the click. Don't type it in. Don't type in 5. You want to actually click on it. So that tells me that in a year you'd get $3,000. But I actually want to know what they're going to get in a month. So I'm going to do it in 2 math problems. I'm going to do equals and put the first one in parentheses. This times this. Close that parenthesis, so that number, that answer is 3,000. And then I want to take that answer and divide it by 12, which gives me $250 a month. and I can drag that down, and I only have to do the math problem once. Don't get too confused in the depth of that. Your problem will be similar, but not exactly the same, and the actual formula is given to you in the assignment instructions, but that is the method to the madness behind that. The next thing I want to show you is advanced sort. So we've already learned how to sort by, go to data, and to do this sort. So if I were to highlight all of this, remember you want to highlight everything or else you'll get everything mixed up. And I just did A through Z, well that would do alphabetically, but I want to do it two ways. So I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to go to sort, and I'm going to choose the first level is to sort by agent or the salesman, okay? But then within that, I'm going to add a level and sort by name. So that way it's going to alphabetize it, and then, so I'll just click OK and you can see it. So now I have all of Bennington's are first, and then they're in alphabetical order. Then all Espinoza, his are all in alphabetical order, and so forth all the way down. Your list is much, much longer than mine, so it will make a little bit more sense when you see it in your list. The next thing we're going to do is learn how to filter. So it's important that you highlight it correctly. In your assignment, you will have already merged this. So if you just go in and click on, it might give you an error. If you put your cursor in the range, like not out here, but inside here, should work just fine. And you should get an arrow at each one. If it still doesn't work, then you're going to have to highlight it and go to filter. Okay, I'm going to hurry and add some borders because it drives me kind of crazy to not have borders. Okay, so I have an arrow going down, and this allows me to choose a way to sort this list. If I just, now again, my list is kind of short. Yours is actually like 2 pages long. And so it's going to be really difficult to gather information without filtering. So let's say I wanted to know, and this is what a query is figuring out how to filter. Let's say I wanted to know who's got the biggest purchase. So I'm going to click on this little arrow, purchase amount, and choose sort largest to smallest. And there it is right at the top, Melissa Purcher, $95,000. So that's one way to do it. I could also do a number filter. Maybe I want to see everyone who has spent less than $15,000. I click OK, and it will sort the list for me. And then I can say within that list, show me everyone who was acquired in February or April or whatever. I can pick a day. And now I've got 2 of them. So you can filter within a filter. It's important that you go back, though. You're going to want to make sure you clear those filters out. So in this assignment, you're going to do your first filter, which will make the list shorter so that you can print it. Make sure you follow the directions very closely on that. And you'll print that first sheet, this sheet right here. The second half of the assignment, you will go through and answer some questions that are going to be in the second sheet over, which there's nothing here on mine, but yours will have 15 questions in there that you need to answer. And it's going to ask you for things like looking up by salesman or by date. It might even ask you to type things into the search bar, like a area code. It might ask you to figure out an average of the numbers. So notice the things you have. You have text filters, begins with, ends with, contains. You've got your sort A through Z. Color isn't really going to come into play, but you can, just know it's there. You can do number filters, top 10, above average. All this stuff is in here. So be aware of that, be looking for it in order to answer those questions. So that's how you do the queries. Make sure you answer all the questions on the second sheet. Print that one, staple them together, and you can turn them in together. Good luck.